Hello, this is Anna Marbeck, and I'm going to do EK or existential kink tapping on rejection. And so, just so you know, when we're doing the first round, that's when we're really being like, oh, like, I hate myself. I hate this issue. I hate everything that's coming up around this. I hate everyone who's involved in this. This is the worst. And then the second round is where we really feel the pleasure. So, first, we're really feeling into everything we find negative around it. And in the second round, that's when we're really letting that pleasure and that release come up. And by the way, you can feel pleasure in the first round too, if that is something that's coming up for you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And this is going to be on rejection. I'm feeling so much rejection and I deeply love and accept myself. Oh, I just feel so rejected by so many people in my life and I deeply love and honor myself. I'm feeling so much rejection and I hate rejection and I feel like I don't want to feel this rejection anymore. And I deeply love and respect myself. Above the eyebrow. Oh, I just feel so rejected. It feels like that person doesn't want to spend time with me or doesn't want me around. It's like they didn't want to go do something with me. Or, maybe I asked them and they said no, or really rejection. I can even feel rejection in the absence. Like this person should absolutely be asking me if I want to do stuff. They should be so excited to spend time with me. They should be rearranging their schedule and rearranging their time and spending so much time and energy and money to spend time with me. And why aren't they doing that? It's making me feel so rejected. Side of the eye. And really, this other person is supposed to want to spend time with me. They should want to spend time with me. They're absolutely not allowed to not want to spend time with me. They have to want to spend time with me in the specific way that I desire. And, at the time I desire, no matter what the inconvenience is, or no matter what's happening in their lives, they absolutely should only be fulfilling my desires. And below the eye. But I'm feeling so rejected. I mean, I can't believe I received another no. I can't believe I received another letter of rejection. I can't believe another job didn't call back. I can't believe that someone said no when I asked them out. I just can't believe I received that no. Below the nose. And this really just makes me remember all those times I felt really rejected in my high school and in my middle school and in my elementary school and in my childhood. What about that time that person I thought was cute didn't talk to me or didn't ask me to dance? Oh my God. Well, a moth just flew literally out of like in between my legs, which feels like it's somehow clearing. So I'm just going to go to sit in somewhere else. I'm actually going to keep this video going because that felt like a really valuable clearing a moment for this EK tapping. Like that, it was a moth that just came out of nowhere. So I think we were clearing some energy there. Let's keep it moving. Oh, God, a lot of rejection in high school, I guess. Okay, well, I just felt so rejected. I felt rejected by my classmates. I felt rejected by my peers. I felt rejected by the popular kids. I felt rejected by the cool table. I felt rejected by people I felt romantically interested in. I felt rejected even by people who were my friends or people who I thought were my friends. I felt so rejected by them. And I just really let those feelings of rejection come up in the body now. Like everywhere I've been hiding those feelings of rejection, all those little pockets where I've been stuffing my rejection and avoiding my rejection and numbing down my rejection, I'm going to feel all of it right now. On the chin. And, when I was a child and it felt like other kids didn't want to play with me, or it felt like my parents didn't pay attention to me or didn't spend time with me, or I felt really insulted. Like maybe I've been insulted by my peers, or I've been felt insulted by my parents, or felt insulted by other things people said by me, or, I felt put down. I felt like people didn't think I was good enough, or people thought I was too much. Like really, I'm both not good enough and I'm too much. How is that even possible? I'm just feeling rejected on every single level. On the collarbone. Even feeling rejected by the universe, because it feels like I don't have my dreams and desires yet. Like there are some big things that I really want to accomplish. And it feels like it just hasn't happened yet. And that makes me feel really honestly rejected by the universe. I feel rejected by the divine. I feel rejected by God. Sometimes, with some of the suffering I've experienced, I've been like, why, God, why? Like, why are you rejecting me so deeply? Like, I feel rejected on a divine level. Maybe even being in this physical incarnation, which feels sometimes so separate from the divine, I feel really rejected from the divine. And like I've been thrown out of heaven, like I'm rejected from heaven on the breastbone or side of the chest. And letting myself feel how even now I feel like there are people who refuse to let me play with their toys. There are people who refuse to let me connect with them. I mean, there's so many subtle moments and conversations that feel like rejections. Why can't it all just be like open and total love and like, yes, I'm so excited to spend time with you and I'd love to spend time with you and I love being with you and I love everything we do together and I love you and you're so amazing in every single way. Like instead it feels like, you're all right, this is okay, you're okay. I mean, I feel so rejected too, and sometimes I feel like I just have to impress people all the time, and then it just feels like I'm constantly rejecting the uncool parts of myself, and I still feel rejected by the cool people. So there's just so much rejection that even comes up in daily conversation where it feels like people are ignoring me or they don't really want to spend time with me, or I'm like, do you really want to spend time with me? I wonder that, and then I almost feel like I'm rejecting myself. So just feeling into all that rejection, letting all that rejection to continue to come up and move on top of the head. Okay. Wow, that went deeper than I thought it would. I think that moth was right to help with the clearing, so I'm grateful to the moth medicine for that. Okay, and now we're going to do the second round. In the second round, we're really getting into the pleasure of it. Maybe there's a part of me that has secretly wanted to experience rejection, and I deeply love and accept myself. And this is on the karate chop point. Maybe I do find some pleasure in this rejection, and I deeply love and honor myself. I am willing to consider the possibility that I chose this rejection, and I deeply love and respect myself. Above the eyebrow. Maybe there really is a part of me that has been taking pleasure in all this rejection. I give myself permission to take pleasure in all this rejection. I give myself permission to admit that there is pleasure in rejection. Side of the eye. There's pleasure, maybe even just in the literal body sensations it comes up. Rejection's very sensational. Sensation can be really fun to experience, sensation's entertaining. So I let myself enjoy all the sensation, just as pure sensation in my body that rejection brings up below the eye. And maybe really when I was rejected by other people, maybe a part of me actually didn't want to spend time with them. If I'm really, really honest, was there a part of me that was like, actually, I don't want to do that, or actually, I don't want to spend time with that person? And even if I can't consciously identify it, maybe rejection is the way that my divine self or my larger self or my higher self really makes things clear for me. So when I'm the one who's holding on too tightly, or I'm holding on to circumstances that wouldn't really be right for me, maybe rejection occurs so that, I'm not meeting with people who aren't right for me, or people who aren't for my highest good, or people who don't have the lessons I need to learn. So maybe rejection is really kind of the universe's clarifying process to help us live our best lives and best paths. Below the nose. And when I feel into that rejection, and I feel into those people rejecting me, again, maybe there's actually a pleasure and a thrill to rejection. Maybe I'm actually like, yes, there's something, if we really expect to be rejected and then we are rejected, there is a deep satisfaction in that. We can also actually cause rejection. We can cause other people to reject us because we want to experience that thrill, or because we don't want to experience more vulnerability. Because if we continue developing the relationship, there would be more vulnerability, there would be more connection, there would be more closeness. So really, maybe rejection is a way of avoiding vulnerability, of avoiding closeness, of avoiding connection. Maybe I actually make other people reject me in order to avoid being vulnerable and authentic. And, I really respect that part of myself that is creating that experience. And on the chin, And when I'm really honest with myself, I'm like, yes, I really have been assuming that people would reject me. I've been kind of preemptively causing people to reject me in order to experience maybe the sensation of rejection, in order to avoid more vulnerability than I would have liked, in order to bring that high sensation. There are a lot of reasons why I might actually be causing other people to reject me in order to create that clarifying path. Maybe I don't really actually want to engage in that relationship anyway. And on the collarbone, if I'm really honest with myself and I really look at my behaviors and I really look at the way I acted, really, maybe I did want to experience rejection. I mean, maybe I went for people that actually, I knew were not my kind of people anyway. Or, maybe I went for situations and circumstances that would really help me grow my grit and strength. And getting rejected a lot of times really does help grow one's grit and strength. I mean, talk about learning lessons from the universe. Maybe I just wanted to choose that lightning path. And so I chose the rejection path where I got to experience rejection over and over and over and over again. And that really helped me grow as a person. It helped me grow as a soul. On the breastbone or side of the chest. And maybe I've experienced all this rejection. Maybe I keep experiencing rejection because honestly, maybe part of me just likes it. And we can just respect that. Let's give total approval and total love to the part of us that just really enjoys rejection. Like, let's just admit it. We've experienced so much rejection. We've been rejected over and over again by friends and colleagues and bosses and even our own families. We've experienced so much rejection. So maybe there's a part of us that just inherently loves rejection and there's no reason for it. It's not because we experienced it in our childhoods. It's not because we're avoiding something or anything. Maybe we just inherently love rejection because we love the full spectrum. We're here to experience the full spectrum of emotions, whatever they are. And maybe rejection is just one of those experiences that we desire to have. So allowing ourselves to really embrace and enjoy rejection on every level. Just letting that sensation of rejection come up, letting it move up and out, and letting ourselves feel it to the fullest, deepest extent. And it's okay too, by the way, if grief or anger comes up, that's totally normal. Go ahead and feel into that. At the same time, if there's a part of us that is really taking pleasure, if I explore inside, I'm like, there's a part of me that's enjoying this feeling of rejection, just let that part have its kicks too. Like, I'm going to let the part of me that enjoys and takes pleasure in rejection really enjoy it and really take pleasure in it. Just explode in sparkles and fireworks of pleasure at all the rejection. So thank you, rejection, for all the lessons you've given me. Thank you, rejection, for all the pleasure you've given me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, personally, I was seeing my rejection as kind of this black river that felt like it was moving up. And I also was feeling the sensations of rejection and also of pleasure throughout my whole physical body. And I actually do feel more grounded now and less avoidant. So that's what's really great about EK tapping. It is really exaggerated. Like, I'm not saying we should believe or agree with any of these things that we say in EK tapping or that any of them are true. Really what we're doing here is feeling into those unconscious sensations, and exaggeration really helps us do that and really helps create sensation in the body to move it out. And what's so great about adding the tapping aspect to our EK is we're actually really literally moving it through our bodies and really releasing it from our bodies, releasing it from our energy fields as we do the tapping. I've also been finding lately in EK that grief and anger can come up and that those feel like blocks EK or like people can't get past them. And so I would say when grief and anger come up, instead of being like, oh, I should keep EKing or I'm going to give up my EK practice, I think what's really wonderful to do is to really notice the grief, to choose to feel the grief consciously. I mean, we grieve things even that we don't want anymore. When I move through different phases of life, I've noticed now really my life is pretty wonderful, but I still need to change and grow. So there are previous phases of my life that I do not want anymore. Even if they're wonderful, I'm still moving into something new and I still actually am grieving that old phase. So that's what's so interesting too. So grief is not a bad thing. Grief is very natural. So feeling into that grief and feeling anger too. I've actually been feeling more into my anger, which is really, anger is really connected to aggression, is connected to desire and passion. So feeling into my anger more has led to me feeling more desire, which has been really fun and exciting for me. So also really letting the anger come up too and being like, yeah, you know what? I'm still actually really angry at this person around how I felt rejected by them, and just honoring that and like expressing that, journaling about it, dancing about it, you know, hitting a pillow, like it's just expressing that anger. And then I find it moves the emotion out. It's all about moving the emotion out. Again, that's what we're doing the EK tapping, we're moving the emotion out. There's anything you can do to move the emotion out. And then you'll be able to, again, find that pleasure, release the attachment aversion to rejection. And since rejection is a part of all of our lives, when you can feel you can experience the sensation of rejection, like you become so much more willing actually to live more of your life. And that is what we're here for you to live the biggest, most impactful, most magical life possible. Okay, thank you so much. This is Anna Marbeck. Bye, everybody.